This is video number 31 on sibling rivalry. It is common, but it does not have to be common. And what I mean by that, it's a myth. It's a myth that siblings have to fight, that they're always going to bicker, they're going to hit each other, they're going to get into fights and be mean to each other. That happens all the time, but it doesn't have to be that way. It can be better than that. We have a step family. My daughter's 8, my stepdaughter's 10. In the last 4 years, I can count less than 5 times that they've had a disagreement where they've had to come to us to help them. They get along super good. Possible reasons why there's sibling rivalry in your home. Number 1, your children may have very similar or very different personalities. Number 2, children feel as if they're getting unequal treatment, attention, and discipline from their parents and caregivers. You gotta make sure you're treating them the same, not in every situation, but more or less. Number 3, children may feel threatened by the arrival of a new baby or a new baby in the past. Is this baby going to take my spot? Is this baby going to take more attention from me? Number 4, children may be lacking the skills to how to appropriately ask a sibling to play or how to share or how to get along, so they pick fights instead. So as a parent, you got to teach them the skills they need to get along. Number 5, children who are bored, tired, or hungry may look to pick fights with a sibling. Go to the basics. Are they feeling tired? Are they feeling hungry? Are they lonely? Number 6, children who are experiencing big emotions of sadness, anger, or fear may look to pick fights with a sibling. So if someone's in their little brain and they're experiencing all these overwhelming emotions, they may look to get into a fight with someone. They may look for a release of that energy. Think about the last time you were in a fight with your partner or a friend or a family member. You were probably emotionally charged up. It's the same thing for your children. If they're fighting, one of them is probably overwhelmed, or maybe both of them are overwhelmed. You got to look at the emotional component and help them with co-regulation, or remind them how to self-regulate their emotions. Number 7, children may be mad at mom and dad, so they take it out on the sibling. Same thing as if your kid's mad at you, they could be taking their anger out on their siblings. So you got to figure out that root cause. Behavior is the symptom. What's going on underneath that? How can I help them? Got to talk about things. Number 8, if parents set up a home of competition and success-based parenting, this will always lead to one sibling feeling lesser than. This creates resentment. So if the only time you're praising your children is when they get a great mark on a test, or they win a trophy in a sport, or they do awesome at something, that's going to lead to resentment of one of the kids who's not getting that same type of attention. You got to make sure you're focusing on all your kids' strengths and weaknesses equally, and not just gravitating towards victories. Because what about the kid that's not winning things? They're going to feel like they're lesser than, so they're going to start fights with that other kid out of jealousy or envy. Number 9, if the parents lack emotional control and fight with each other or with the children or with other people, children will do the same thing. Role modeling. If you're fighting with your partner, if you're fighting with your parents, if you're fighting with your siblings, your children are going to follow your lead. They're going to be fighting with each other. You got to role model the behavior you want your children to take on. Number 10, in a home where emotions are not talked about or taught to children, this will lead to sibling rivalry because they lack the skills they need to self-regulate emotions, use empathy, problem solve, and to engage in conflict resolution. They lack the ability to repair the fracture to the relationship. When there is a behavior you don't like, so siblings fighting, your children fighting with each other, that would indicate they are lacking the skills that they need to get along, like I just listed. You got to teach them how to communicate, how to use empathy, all this good stuff. You got to teach this to yourself, or find somebody to teach these skills to you, so then you can teach them to your children. This will remove the fighting amongst themselves. Stay safe, be well, take care.